What's going on, guys? Johnny on the track here, back with another video. And today I'm reacting to the news that kind of was heard around the world for NASCAR fans. Crazy news, definitely something we weren't expecting in the midst of silly season, in the midst of the next gen car track configurations, new teams being announced. This was something that really none of us were expecting, and it definitely shocked the whole NASCAR community. And it was the longtime sponsor for Joe Gibbs Racing and Kyle Busch, Mars, leaving NASCAR after the 2022 season. They've been here since the year 2000. They've spent 22 great years as probably most would say the most recognizable sponsor in all of NASCAR. And with that, won 55 races, 2 championships with Kyle Busch, an additional 2 races, I believe, with Elliott Sadler, and just so many iconic paint schemes, iconic wins and memories. You think of obviously that yellow paint scheme that Kyle Busch drives on a weekly basis, the Halloween gray kind of Skittles scheme he runs, the purplish pink scheme, M&M scheme. You go to the Twix scheme that he runs with the 54. So many beautiful eye candy, if you like that joke, if you will, in the sport, and just beautiful cars. And that was through the sponsor that was Mars. I mean, they were able to create some awesome stuff with Kyle. And on top of that, it really is crazy to think about kind of how far beyond just that it went. Like I tweeted something today, and it really is true if you think about it. It's like, so many people that don't follow NASCAR, aren't really big fans, don't like our sport at all. They know that like M&M's is associated with NASCAR. They're like, oh yeah, no, I know the M&M's car, right? Or if you have a race on and a family member just happens to walk in, right, and sees the cars go around, usually like they would say like, oh my God, I love the M&M's car. Like it's just something that happens. That's how a lot of kids got to be Kyle Busch fans. They just love like the M&M's car, grew up following him. And then you even take that a step farther, like being with Kyle Busch for that long. There's a lot that goes into it. First of all, Kyle Busch is a superstar. He has been in our sport for a while. Again, you ask people that don't follow NASCAR if they've heard the name Kyle Busch, most would say yes. He's been a superstar in our sport for a while. But also at the same time, he is possibly the most polarizing figure to ever, be a part of our sport. And I know that's crazy to say, but I think that is reality, to be honest with you. Now, love or hate Kyle Busch, whatever you think of him, you respect him. And, like I said, he has been a superstar, a brand's name for so long. And, kudos to Mars for sticking by Kyle. No matter what Kyle says in an interview, good or bad, Mars never has a problem with it. They never had a problem with it. They stuck by him. He actually posted kind of an emotional tribute to them today, and said that, he said they've always let him be him. And they certainly have. Kyle has never shied away from being himself. That's something I really respect about him. Obviously, his results on the track speak for themselves. But Kyle is who he is, and he does not let that get in the way of anything, really. So, man, it's a crazy day. It really is a crazy day. This is something that it's really this sponsorship, this partnership, sponsorship, whatever you want to call it, kind of defined NASCAR throughout the 2000s. It brought NASCAR to a fun light. It's like M&M's being in NASCAR was fun. It really was fun. And 2, like a national spotlight, because M&M's, they came out and said, or I should say Mars came out and said this was a great return on investment. And JGR said the same thing. So both these companies clearly benefited from one another. And it's going to be, for NASCAR fans, it's going to be weird to see them go, and to see Kyle driving a different sponsor. Interstate Batteries, his other primary sponsor, is on for the next several years. So after 2022, Kyle Busch will be looking for another primary sponsor, which is just crazy to say. I mean, who would have thought that those words would be coming out of my mouth? But here we are. Here we are. So two things I want to go real quick just through the future. First, the future with Kyle. I don't know. I don't know, honestly. I assume probably a smaller sponsorship he has will probably take bigger duties, but I don't really know for sure. Like I mentioned earlier, Kyle is who he is. So it might be really easy to find sponsorships because he's such a superstar, or it might be really difficult for him to find a big sponsorship because you never know what he's going to say sometimes. So that'll be an interesting thing to watch throughout really next season as he's trying to secure that deal. And then the future of NASCAR. Obviously, this is a huge loss, but in no means does this stunt the growth of NASCAR. Or should anyone be saying, oh, look at this, like sponsors want to get out, NASCAR is dying. No, that's not true at all. Like Mars and the Mars family said, this was a great return on investment. They never could have imagined being in the sport for this long. And then at the same time, if you look at a company like Subway, who was in NASCAR, was out, and then decided and wanted to get back in, and did some races this year with Kevin Harvick. So clearly the sponsorship aspect is not dying, and companies that, were here and left want to come back. So I think it's difficult here because in the short term, this is going to be tough. I don't think it looks good for NASCAR to lose a career defining sponsor like Mars and M&M's, Snickers, Skittles, all that stuff. That's really tough to lose. But in the long term, I do think NASCAR will be just fine. With the additions of Trackhouse in 2311, GMS moving up to Cup, Petty GMS now too, combining for kind of a two operation team. The sponsors are going to keep coming. You saw like sponsors were lining up for 2311, DoorDash, McDonald's partnered with Bubba Wallace. And the same thing with Trackhouse. So the sponsors will be here. But I do think you will never, ever, ever, never see a partnership as strong as Kyle Busch and M&M's, and as long-lasting, really, as and supportive of one another as Kyle Busch and M&M's, Mars, however you want to say that. But again, tough day for NASCAR fans everywhere to kind of come to the realization that we will not be seeing the M&M's car out on the track after 2022. That's a tough pill to swallow. But again, there's so much room for growth. I'm not concerned in the slightest. So guys, make sure you like, comment. I want to know what you guys think, and please subscribe for more content and videos. Thanks.